Hello everyone and welcome to another video. We're going to do another one of our discussions type things, and I think this is going to be a slightly controversial one. I actually quite like, I think I quite like the new M3 and the M4. I genuinely, it's a really, I don't know why this has happened. I've been mulling over this for the last 2 days, and I thought, you know what, I need to make a video on this because I've really no idea why I've just all of a sudden thought of this. But I actually quite, I don't know. I don't know. I like the new M3 and the M4. I think it's a really what's come over me. I don't know. When it first came out, and when we first saw and probably everyone thought this, when we first came out, and when the cars were first released and the photos were first released, I looked at it and went, "Oh my god, what are they doing?" It was the next stage of the 7 Series, the X7 type thing, which I didn't think could get any worse. However, they managed it. And obviously, when they released these, yeah, it was just bleh. However, and I don't think I'm the only person on this. I think Chris Harris spoke about this as well on one of his Top Gear things on YouTube. I think he said after a while that it may start growing on people, and people will get used to they'll get used to the design. They'll get used to how it all looks. I think I'm starting to get there a little bit. Now, there's a couple of things. This is the article on CarWow, so I'll link this into the description below if you want to have a read of it yourself. But there's a couple of things which I don't like, admittedly. There's also a couple of things which I actually am liking more and more. Not just about the front car, because that is the elephant in the room that everyone wants to address. But we're just going to go around the whole car, because I want to go around the whole car. I want to talk more about it. Okay, I'm also trying to sort of dive into this sort of style of content more, you know. Actually, before we go any further, if you haven't already and you want to see more of me chatting and talking about this sort of stuff and engaging with you guys as well, because I want to hear your opinions, if you haven't already, please do consider subscribing. Leave a comment down below what you would like to see me do in my future videos. And if you could leave this video a like as well, it would be greatly appreciated. We've also got a new light setup. We've got a new camera setup here. It's all looking marvellous. Can't wait to continue doing it with all this sort of stuff now. It's going to be amazing. We also do sim racing content as well if you are new to the channel and you haven't already seen that. But let's address the elephant in the room first. And it's a big elephant in the room, let's be honest. Yeah, these two grills. I mean, yeah, when they first came out, I was not a big fan at all. I'm pretty sure everyone was in the same boat of, oh my god, what are BMW doing? They've just lost their minds completely. They've lost their minds. I did think that for a long, long time. Since because they've been out, what, a couple of months now? However, there's a couple... No, actually, I'll tell you that. I'm going to go back. When they first released the 4 Series, the standard 4 Series, I thought that was hideous. I just genuinely thought I just couldn't understand. I could sort of get on board with the X7-ish as well as the 7 Series, sort of. Because it was the conventional sort of shape and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, the standard 4 Series couldn't do it at all. When they released the M3 and the M4 though, and the competition variants, I actually turned around and I went, that looks better. I didn't say it looked, I said it looked better. Okay, and I remember saying this to myself. However, as I've slowly started to see this more and more on photos and in articles and everything, I've actually come to like it a bit more. It's really odd. We're going to go in there. There's quite a lot of different photos that we can sort of have a look at. So I want to talk about the profile as well, because there's a few things, not just about the front, which I like, and a few things which I don't particularly like. But anyway, we'll go through that as we go along. So one thing I really don't like, and this is just a no-no for me, is that's the anti-collision thing. Why they've put it there, I don't know. It's not really... I don't know. They've not put it in the M4 by the looks. It seems to be in the M4. It's still up in the windscreen. Or it might be. I don't know. But that's there, and I don't particularly like that. I don't know. I'm guessing it's the anti-collision system and stuff like that, but I'm not entirely sure. So not a big fan of that, personally. I'm all a big fan of safety. Just try and put it somewhere else, please. But anyway, by the by. Good thing. Number plates in America, it's going to look different. It's going to look interesting in America because they don't have front license plates. However, in Europe and most of the world, it's fine. It looks better with the number plate. It really looks better with the number plate. And in the M trim, the grille doesn't look so bad, I don't think, because you've got a bit more, it generally looks, it's a lot more aggressive, actually, to be fair. I think the change from, the standard 4 Series to this new one, on the right-hand side here, looks a lot more aggressive, I think, than the previous 4 Series to the M4. It just looks a lot more aggressive at the front. And I think that is partly to do with the fact of that new front grille. It just looks a lot more, it just looks, it looks a lot more angry. I quite like it in that sort of sense. It gives that really aggressive stance, which I liked. I sort of feel that the M4 sometimes looked a bit lacking in some. Again, that could be a controversial opinion in itself. Rear arches, nice and flared. I like that. Could have been a bit more flare in the M3, but again, we'll go through that as we go along. 480 brake horsepower. Yep, cool. 510 in the competition trim. Good stuff. One good thing that they have really done quite well, which I thought, and I'm pretty sure I read, the automatics were the future. DCTs were the future of BMW, and that was that. Turns out, no. They're still doing a manual, which is fair enough. They're also doing 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive options, so I'm cool with that as well. Top speed is relevant. Revamped interior, cool. Yeah, price, that's fair enough. It's always going to be like that, isn't it? But there's a couple more photos. M3, again, looks really good. It looks a lot more aggressive. I think, the M3, I don't know, it just looks more aggressive from the front than the previous one. Disregarding these grills as well, let's just not worry about those for the time being. The sort of like just below the lights, all these front grills, I really like. Just looks a bit more aggressive. I can get on board with it. Continuity working well there, Dan. As you can see, I've changed because I was, I had to go home trying to do a few bits and pieces. So we're finishing off this video today. We left off at, we were just going to, we were going to talk about the side profile of the car. Not entirely sure on it, if I'm honest. I actually felt similar when the 3 Series came out, when the new 3 Series came out. I wasn't entirely sure on the profile. I don't know what it was. I still think the front end looks a bit too long and the rear end doesn't look long enough. Not entirely sure why I'm thinking that. And again, this sort of might grow on me a little bit. This sort of like weird sort of grille reverse. Again, not entirely sure if I like that or not. I don't think I do. So you got the front grille and then it sort of like tapers up a little bit and then sort of, I don't know. Again, I just feel it from the side-on profile, it may just sort of spoil it ever so slightly. I think if they'd have just carried on with that going down. Side profile, not on the M3. I don't prefer. I preferred the real squat look that the last M3 4-door had. Wheels, I think they're the M5 competition wheels. They look similar to what the M5 competition has. Again, they look okay. Now, right, next photo. Both of them together. From the rear profile, again, really like the 3 Series. The exhausts look huge compared to what they did originally. They look absolutely massive. If I'm on it, M4 looks cracking. And M4 looks really, really good. I actually preferred, so for the last generation of M cars, the M3 and the M4, I preferred the M4. I preferred the M3. For this one, though, this new generation, I'd take the M4 any day of the week. I really would. I love practicality. I love practicality in a fast car. I really, really do. However, this new M4 from the rear looks really good. I really, really like it. I like the styling design of, sort of the side quarter, sort of the rear quarter, the whole side profile of the 4 Series. The new M4 looks really good in my eyes. Now, I know they are going to be making one. I'm pretty sure that I think they have confirmed it as well. As it just says there, funny enough. So BMW has also confirmed that it will build an M3 Touring for the first time ever. I think out of these two, I take the M4. If they build the Touring, obviously when they build the Touring, I'm gonna take the M3 Touring any day of the week. I love estate cars as they go generally. I really like estate cars. I've got a Mazda 6 estate at the moment. It's cracking. It's an amazing. It's a really, really good car. I love the look of estates, and to have a nigh on 500 horsepower or 510 horsepower engine in an estate car, what more could you want, to be honest, for me? So I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be absolutely mega. I'm guessing that's probably going to cost a bit more as well. So that's probably going to cost near 80 grand, maybe like 77 and a half, something like that. It'll be expensive either way. And then obviously you've got all the, you've got all the optional extras that will cost you an arm and a leg. A few people said, I've heard a couple of people say it looks a bit too generic from the back. I sort of agree with that in some scenarios, like the LED lights don't they look more and more Audi-like, I think, which is probably a sacrilege. It's not a good thing to say. People are going to give me a lot of hate for that. Yeah, I just feel they're potentially a bit too generic, but I mean, I'm nitpicking there, really. No, rear panel, look, from the rear of the car, that looks mega. Really liking these exhausts, though. The big sort of bulky diffuser at the back, I really like. Very race car-esque, which is really, really good. Interior, again, standard BMW. It's just lots of nice leather and interesting colour. I actually quite like it. Didn't think I'd like it when I first saw it, but I like the interior. The Digi Dash, Audi is still leading the way with their digital dash. Again, they just are. However, BMW probably aren't far behind. From the ones I have seen, I've seen the new M135i dash. Haven't actually been in the new sort of like M5s or anything, but yeah, the new 135i, it is good. I like the digital dash, but I think Audi is still just leading the way with it. It's a BMW interior. It just does what it needs to do, and it's quite a nice place to be. It is quite a nice place to be. This is the M4, which is a fantastic looking. I'm liking this. Really liking the colour scheme. Colour scheme options that are available. Really, the fact that they are £3,500 isn't so nice. But at the same time, obviously it's going to be an extortionate amount of money that they were going to charge. Got the latest side drive stuff, obviously, as you would expect. I am intrigued to see how the manual performs. Mass amount of plastic coverings and stuff, obviously, naturally, as you're always going to get, which there's the modern way now, isn't it? But 650 newton meters of torque. Like, that's 5 years ago, that was supercar. That was supercar. That was actually more. That's more than supercars were producing. They were 2-3 times the price 5 years ago. Maybe even 4 years ago. Yeah, it's just insane how far the car industry is catching up with itself, I think. That looks a bit better. I'm actually liking that a bit more. The side profile, completely side on. It's growing on me, but it's taking a little bit of time. This, though, I like that. That looks a lot better from the rear quarter. It works. I think one thing as well is the M4, the new M4 looks better from most angles. Pretty much every angle. Again, let's not talk about the front for the minute. Yeah, it looks good from, the side profile, rear quarter, rear profile. So it looks pretty good from every angle. I just think the M3 looks really nice. Side profile, yeah, could look. It doesn't look as good in my eyes. Okay, so no, sorry, read that. So rear wheel drive comes as standard, but four wheel drive will soon be available. I take the rear wheel drive because that's what I always like. Wheels, again, they're wheels. I like them. Prefer this colour match. The green and red on the M3 that they have in the photo, I don't think it looks as good. I like these. These are carbon ceramics. Carbon ceramic disc brakes, 400mm and 380mm front and rear respectively. And they're an £8,000 upgrade, which I suppose for carbon ceramics is pretty much the going rate. And for your £8,000 as well, you can have 155 miles an hour. The limit then goes to 180 because obviously that's needed, isn't it? But again, these are all minor things. A couple of more bits and pieces that I don't think BMW are doing incredibly well with their competition parts. These front canard things look like they've just been bought from Halfords and stuck on. If I'm honest, they look they just proportionately do not look good to the car in the slightest. No, can't get on board with that. Don't understand why they're there. They produce, I'm guessing, nothing in terms of aerodynamic performance increase. Don't know why they've done that. No idea what that is. I would have designed that when I was 10 years old. The rear wing's the best bit of it, but even then that's a little bit... It looks like a knockoff of the old M3 or the M4 GTS. It just looks a bit odd. I'm not entirely sure. Admittedly, that is a titanium exhaust, and you can get larger alloy wheels and stuff like that, but for how much they're going to cost, is it worth it? No, I don't think in the slightest. Is it going to be worth the price? No. Is it going to provide much performance difference? Negligible. I think we're never going to use it on the road, and you probably won't notice it on the track. For the average person, they're never going to notice it on track. Wheels look okay in the sort of gold. I don't mind that. Right. That does not... That looks much better. Let me know... Actually, this is one thing for everyone. Let me know in the comments below. What do you prefer? Do you prefer that one, which is all the competition stuff, or do you prefer that one for the M4? I don't know. There's no M3 photos of the competition parts, but I imagine there'll be some similar interesting styling designs. All in all, I quite like the new M4 and the M3. I'd prefer the M4, I think, over the 2. And that profile looks fantastic. It looks really nice. So does that, actually, if I'm honest. They both look really, really good. Yes, the grille is a thing that is, at the moment, I think, a love or hate. However, when it first came out for me, I hated it, if I'm honest. My tune has now changed on it a bit. It may change tomorrow. I sort of have that occasionally where I'll sort of look at one thing one day and go, that looks amazing. I look at it again and goes, that looks horrible. I can't see that happening this time around, again, if I'm honest. But we'll see. It'll be interesting to see how the car sort of develops in everyone else's minds as well. I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you all, everyone, for watching and for listening to me ramble on about the brand new M3 and the M4 competition. It's a very Marmite car at the moment. Is it going to be a Marmite car in the near future? Potentially. Who knows? We will see. As I said at the start of the video, though, if you haven't already, please do consider subscribing if you want to catch up with me talking about more and more automotive news and also some sim racing stuff as well. Then, if you haven't already, if you could subscribe, that would be absolutely amazing. Leave a like for this video if you did enjoy it, and if you could leave any comments, like I said, what you would like to see me discuss or talk about in future videos as well, that would be greatly appreciated. Really hope you enjoyed the video. I look forward to catching up with you soon, and the only thing left to say is take care and stay safe. Bye.